Alright, now we're moving on to shell variables. So variables can be created either at the shell or in shell scripts. Any variable created within a shell script is lost when the script stops executing. A variable created at the prompt, however, will remain in existence until the shell is terminated. And we see that here below, guys. So on our terminal here, we can do a my var, or my variable, equals 999. So we're setting 999 equal to this variable name here. So when we echo my var, and variables are designated by a $, it'll say 999 because we set that variable equal to that, okay? However, there are some built-in variables into our shell, such as user, okay? And there's also home and some other ones. Let me show that to you. So I do echo $user. It tells me that root is user, okay? There's also home, which tells me my home directory, okay? Echo $, I think shell is one. Yeah, and it tells you the shell you're using. So there's some built-in variables. Or if we use the example my var equals 999, and then I echo $, my var, so variables are designated by $, then we see that that variable exists. Now I can't just do a $, anything, right? I can't just type in gibberish, right? Because that's not a variable that's been declared, right? So we have to set the variable values. And we see that here as well. So we're kind of playing with the echo command here and how variables work. So we remember everything's case sensitive in Linux. So when we try to do the user variable in lowercase, echo only shows RAM but doesn't give the variable because that's not how you spell user correctly. Okay. And I showed you that shell variable, so it's going to say echo. This is the shell variable in Datasoft. And the shell variable was bin bash, just like I showed you. So it says this is the bin bash Datasoft. Okay. We can even use two variables on one line. So this is the shell variable on computer hostname variable. And it's going to repeat this is the bin bash on computer Datasoft Linux. So echo these words, and then it filled in the variables. Okay. And again, this one isn't going to work right because this isn't spelled correctly. That's not the right variable. Echo the user ID of user variable is user ID variable. Well, it's going to do some of it. It's going to say the user ID of, this isn't right, so it doesn't display it, is 1000. Okay? And then I showed you the home variable one. So my home directory is home. My home directory is home Datasoft. Okay? So we're going to talk about command substitution here. So command substitution is the mechanism by which the shell performs a given set of commands and then substitutes the output in the place of the commands. So example of this here. Here, the printing variable of the variable is substituted by its value. At the same time, the \n is substituted by new line. So \n says new line. That's a new line character. So we have a equals 10, and then when we echo -e, value of a is variable a and the new line. So value of a is 10. Okay? So command substitution is generally used to assign the output of a command to a variable. Each of the following examples demonstrates a command substitution. So we actually set date equal to the date command. Okay. So we could echo date is and date command. It would actually display the output of the date command. Okay. We can set the user's variable equal to the output of the who command piped into the word count command. And so when we echo logged in users are users, it's going to display the output of that, okay? And we have the up command, or up variable is set equal to the date and the uptime command. So guys, this little semicolon here, what this means is it means do this command, and on a new line, run this command, okay? So this isn't joining these two commands, it's just running them separately, but without having to do a new line, okay? We can do echo uptime is up variable. Let me show you these. So we should know, so date command shows, let me clear my screen. So date command shows the date. So when I put date is equal to $ date, okay, now echo date is $date. There you go. It says date is, and it's the output of this date command, okay? So we're actually assigning a variable the output of a command. Same with the users one, we can do who. Remember, who gives you the users, okay? So if I do users equals quotation mark $ parentheses who, I'm piping that to word count -L, I'm closing the parentheses, quotation mark, and I do echo logged logged in users are, I do the variable users, says logged in users are 1. Okay. And actually I need to okay. So it's giving me the number of logged in users here based off of how many lines there are. There's only one, so it just gave me the one user. I'm going to show you the date command again, and then uptime command. So date shows the date. Uptime shows how long your system's been on, how many users, the load on the CPU, and how long it's been running, okay? So if I do up equals quotation mark $ parentheses date semicolon uptime parentheses quotation mark, and then I say echo uptime is variable up. There you go. It combines those two outputs here. It says uptime is the date. Here's that. Guys, let me show you what that semicolon does. So if I do date semicolon uptime, there you go. See, it's running these commands separately. So it runs date first, and then it runs uptime. This is no different than me running date and then uptime. Okay, that's all the semicolon's doing. So that way I don't have to type these on two separate lines. I can just type it on one line, and it runs one after the other is completed. Okay, let's head back to our PowerPoint. So we're going to talk about quoting and escaping meta-characters here. So there are three options to avoid shell interpretation of meta-characters. We can do it with a backslash, single quotes around a string, or double quotes. So you guys, single and double quotes protect each other, okay? So it interprets them if those quotes are around it. So, for example, if we have echo hi intro to Unix class, and we have single quotes outside of all of it, quotation, double quotes on intro to Unix, echo would actually spit out hi intro to Unix class with the double quotes around intro to Unix, okay? Similarly, if I do double quotation mark, hi, single quotes, intro to Unix class, and end it with a double quote, it will spit out hi, intro to Unix class with the single quotes, okay? And here we look at that escape character. We have echo, quotation mark, backslash, 9800, quotation mark. So instead of interpreting this 9800 as a variable name, it's just actually going to echo this $, okay? Because this backslash character is saying, hey, this next character, don't interpret it as anything, okay? So that's how you would get out of kind of having them interpreted as specific commands or, you know, variable names. So up next, we're going to be talking about fish shell features.